And then we help them start with the visa process.
Technology, right? We gotta fix it. We got a Facebook Live as well.
All about it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Are you doing the blockchain?
yeah, yeah. Got a lot of yeah. All right, guys. Can I please have your attention? Can I please have your attention? We're going to get started in 2 minutes. So please make yourself comfortable wherever you are. So I think it's going to get a bit warm here with that many people. And I'm happy to open up the windows and everything if you guys feel warm. So please get up and just open up the windows if you feel warm. So hopefully we don't have that many people. So let's see how many people turn up today. But you sure you don't want to grab a seat? Yeah. Okay. Let's get started. Thanks for coming, guys. My name is Jag. If you haven't heard, or I think some of you guys know me from the other events, we caught up. Some of you guys are part of the academy. You're part of the Second Innings Academy. You are one of the students. So the other you guys, if you have or haven't heard me speak before, welcome. This is E2E Meetup. Employee to Entrepreneurship Meetup. We've been running it from last year. First meetup was in November last year, and I know some of your faces who came at the first meetup as well. And look at the room now. We only had 10 people at the time. This time we had about 130 people registered. And so first of all, I just want to say that 130 people registered. I know that a lot of people registered, but not that many people come and take action. Right? So I knew the stat based on what happened in the past, and it's been happening consistently so many times. So I just would like you guys to say one thing, right? Raise your hand, everybody. Raise your hand, nothing in the hand. Turn it around, and pat on your back, say, well done. Right? So you are the action takers out of 130 people, which is pretty cool, right? So I'm sure you're going to learn something about it. Just a very quick introduction about me. My name is Jassel. I'm a business architect and technology evangelist. The reason I say technology evangelist, I'm the first few in this country who talk about certain technologies, and we made companies really successful in the past. Few years ago, I talked about cloud. This time, I talk a lot about blockchain, and I helped a lot of people about the blockchain. But this is not about that. Today, we're going to talk about something totally different, which actually helped me many, many years ago about coming into this way of learning. I never thought I could actually do that, but Suryansh is going to talk more about that. So I'll leave it to the expert. I'm the founder of Second Innings Academy. The only reason we started this academy for one reason. I came from the academic background. I studied, I did masters, all that, going to the uni. But one thing lacked, one thing I always thought the university and school need to start teaching. That's a real life education. I always missed that. I failed in 13 startups. I did startup after startup after startup, but I couldn't get any startup to be successful because I didn't get real education. Even though I done the graduation, MBAs, all that, I've been and studied everything, right? But you couldn't make it successful. And I started looking for real life education. Then I found some people like Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk, Brendon Burchard, all those sort of people. Then I actually started asking them for help. I've gone around and trained myself from them. I've been part of their mastermind groups. I've been part of their groups where they taught a certain number of people and learned from them and became successful out of that, right? So then I thought, everybody need to learn that. Why are you trying again and again yourself? I know university is not teaching it. Somebody need to start doing something. That's where I come from. That's where real life education by the real life people. The people who have done something, the people who have run on the board, right? Not just academically talking about theories. I know some people are from academic background, so not that works in certain way, but for me that didn't work. And for business world, that didn't work for me as well. That's the reason I sort of started doing this, and that's the reason this meetup is. That's the reason I sort of started helping people in that sort of background. But some of the free resources for you guys to actually see. All these, whatever we do, they all goes on a Facebook Live as well. A lot of resources, whatever workshop we did in the past, that's available as well if you like to go back and see the videos. Some of the videos available. But also, if you like to join this movement and you want to find more about what's happening out there globally, what we do, please like our Facebook page, and you get to see more about it as well. Um, I'm a big fan of social media. If you guys haven't found me yet on social media, I got a lot of business out of social media. Love my Instagram. If you guys one of the Instagram users, please do like, follow, whatever you want to do with that. A lot of messages I get from the United States, a lot of messages I get at UK. I work with a lot of people in Singapore and also in LA as well as part of that. So please use for your business if you are part of that, but also work around with the other people as well. But what I want to do is I want to hand this stage to Suraj. I known this guy from last 15, 20 years now? Almost that time, right? 15, 20 years. But it's not about that, right? It's just the transformation I've seen in this person. Coming from a background, from a business, running a lot of businesses, that's good, that's done and dusted, everybody can do that. But what's happening right now in his life is completely different, completely, I would say he completely transformed his life. Not financially, because everybody can have money. Money is, I think, is easy to find and easy to make when you know how to do it. Even though you guys are working for somebody else, it's easy to get that sort of sorted out. But what's not there at the moment is complete fulfillment. What happens once you get money, right? What happens after that? What are you supposed to do after that? I've found this guy's got the answers to that, and you guys gonna see that, and how he actually transformed his life and where he come from, his background. He's gonna share his story, all that. But what he's done is academic background. We used to study at the university together, and after that, we just sort of took completely different paths. He went some different ways, and I went different ways. But after a certain period of time, we got together again and found out what he has done with his life. But last couple of years, I've been following him and seeing his transformation. That's why I thought it's a really good idea to bring in somebody in and share his experience. So this session is just sharing that knowledge with you guys, nothing else. Just see what you guys get out of that. Please stay back if you have any question and ask him or ask me whatever you have, anything you get stuck anywhere, please feel free to ask any question. But now, I'll hand over to Suraj. Suraj.
Thanks, Jack. Thank you so much. Okay.
That's yours.
Thank you.
That's yours. All right.
Just in time, right? Hello, everyone, and thanks, Jack, again for kind words. It's been a pleasure to share your friendship for this long, and now taking it to another level. So, as Jack said, I really want to applaud for you guys, and you guys should too, for being here on a relatively cold night. And as Jack was sharing, there's so many people registered, but you guys took the action of being here and actually be open to find alternate ways of getting success. So another round of applause for you guys, if we may. All right, so I guess a good place to start will be to tell you a little bit about myself. So I have studied in Melbourne, Australia, for one of the top 8 universities in Australia. I've done my master's, postgrad courses, and other degrees. I work for a big corporate as a director, and that's part of what I do. I'm a family man. I've got 2 kids and my wife, so pretty pumped up about that. I'm also an entrepreneur, so I do a couple of small businesses, and I'll talk more about that if there is an opportunity to do so. So I'm into property development, and also I've done a range of things, so kitchen renovation, vending machines, importing bar stools from China, importing artificial jewelry, jute bags, mobile accessories. What else? There's definitely more. Yeah, a lot of electronic stuff. So DVD players, VCD players. That technology never came to Australia. It was for developing countries. And not every business I made money in, but overall I did well. With God's grace. I am just a warning, I don't want to scare anyone, but I am a spiritual person. So if I say God, please hear universe if that's what you believe in, or energy if that's what you believe in, or just your self-awareness if that's what you believe in. All right. And what I'm proud about, and this is not to boast, I had very little support. financially, I should say. Um, but I still, am a self-made millionaire today, and that's net worth. I'm not talking. I don't have any debts, no debts at this point. I might in future if I wanted to invest and get into business, but I'm debt-free and self-made millionaire. So we'll go a little bit further back. We'll start with my childhood. This is all rosy now. It didn't start like that. So I was one of those kids who grew up thinking that I'm not good enough. I don't have any special skills. I don't have any gifts, as a lot of people tend to have. I had pretty average, I felt that I had pretty average upbringing. None of that is true. Now with what I know, I have. I think I had exactly what I needed at that time, and I truly believe that. I had anger management issues. I was so short-tempered that I struggled to have good relationship with anyone. My parents, my extended family, cousins. I had two friends. In primary school, I remember them, and I don't know how they dealt with me. So I was a really good example of being a completely messed up person. And from when I look back, just myself, introspection, looking at where I am and where I was, I just don't, it's just a magic that's happened. At a personal level, I'm sure the people in the group were doing even better and doing super well, and I'm really happy for everyone who is at that stage. So there was a time past my childhood where I was so frustrated with how I was being treated by the people for my own fault. I take complete responsibility. There's no single person I've met or been with who shouldn't have come in my life, or who created any of these problems. It was all mine. It is all mine. I take complete responsibility. And if we get time, I'll explain why I do that and how it's helped me. But there was a point when I realized that I probably should end this. So I was at the verge of committing suicide. And at that time, an intervention came, an intervention that wasn't from another human. I couldn't see anyone around, where I had to make a choice between either I end my life or work really hard at changing myself, right? And I'm talking, I just can't remember the age, but I'm talking probably when I was 10, 11, 12 years old, right? And back then, kids at that age were pretty stupid, and no offense, right? Kids are a lot smarter at this age. So in my conscious mind, with the logic I had, I couldn't have had that thought. So I picked the other option, which was I'll pick myself up and do things better. And the next couple of years were even harder. And you would want to hear different, but that won't be the truth. Harder because I was working super hard to please people and be nice to people, but people were still relating to me as my old me, which means I was doing all that extra hard work to be nice and good, but I was getting the same, if, for the lack of a better word, shit back from people. And I was like, what do I do? So I made a decision that I just don't want to be in this environment. And that was escaping, I agree. I said, I have to leave all this, the family, friends I know, please come through, and go somewhere else. So I had no money, right? I didn't have money to come overseas. I just wanted to get out of the environment that I was in, and things just happened, and I ended up in Melbourne, Australia, right? I knew nothing about the possible countries I could be in. So I'm from India originally, born in Calcutta, and left India in 1999. So I had no idea whether I should be going to UK or US or here, and what Melbourne is about. I just took the punt and came here. And if I look back, it is now, Melbourne has been for 8-9 years the most livable place on the earth. So from where I was totally, lost hope and had no aim in life and was living a very average life, coming to a place that's so blessed in so many different ways is just amazing. And you know where I am right now in brief detail, so I won't cover that. That's my family right there. Amazing kids, beautiful wife, and I do travel because of my work, and because of the business and everything else. I do end up sacrificing a lot of family time, and if she wasn't around, that won't be possible. So special thanks to her, even though she isn't around. She isn't here. She is around. Um, so the reason why I shared this story is obviously to let you know who I am, but more importantly, for you to know that I am one of you, right? So I'm not this guy who's multi-billionaire or someone who had wealth from family or didn't have issues like personal issues or whatever other issues that we face day to day. This transformation has happened in the last few years, right? So I'm not so far ahead in the journey. I'm sure others in the group are much further ahead, which is exciting, and would love to hear more about those people. If you have lack of confidence, I can tell you that I could not do this. I'm so comfortable right now standing here, talking sense, and just being transparent and true, and coming to you guys naked with all the personal vulnerabilities and issues I've had in my life. I could never imagine that. I'll have to, if I had to present anything, I would be rehearsing for days or weeks before I even get here to try and stand. And I'm super comfortable right now. That's so. If you need more confidence, I am telling you with my own personal example that what I'm going to share you today will help you do that. If you're needing more clarity in life, I'm telling you with my example where I had no aim, no goal, and now I have, I'm always discovering, so I won't say I've sorted everything out in my life, but I feel a lot better, and I'm hoping you can tell that. If you have family issues, right, if your kids or partner or parents are nagging you or not on the same page as you guys are, that's happened to me as well. Why it took my marriage is an arranged marriage. So for people who don't understand that concept, it is your parents choose who you marry with. And it took us first few years to get to know each other and get to a place where we can start loving each other and actually have a trusted relationship and be able to enjoy it. And so that's an example where I have that today, and I have that because of some of the stuff that I'm going to share. So if things aren't working out for you time after time, there is a reason for that, and I hope to cover that as well today. So whatever your problem is, please don't let that be an excuse for you to not want to hear this and understand this and try this. I can go on and on about the struggles and problems I've had in my life, and everyone has had, so I'm no special, and and you guys should consider that when looking at this stuff. So my goal is, I know there's a lot of people here. I'm generally very optimistic, but I've made a goal here, which is for tonight. I want to be able to say, share, or deliver something that will make that will change at least one person's life significantly, right? And I truly mean that. In next 2 hours, there's nothing that you guys can do for me other than sharing your beautiful energy that will benefit me financially or anything like that, right? So everything I'm sharing it's not to get anything back from you. It's trying to share what I know and hopefully impact at least one person's life. Now, who that person would be is up to you. If it's all of you, that's excellent. I won't say no to that. I can't do that on my own, though. Right? Because I've experienced the change and transformation myself, I know when we walk into the room, we are full of judgment. We're full of our past stories. We're full of, but he doesn't know what I'm going through, right? I have done that myself, and because I've done that, I'm just delivering it to you right now. That if you have any judgments about, and I'm not judging you by saying this, if you have any judgments about, your life, right, or other people's life who are part of your life, or me, or Jag, or this room, or the lack of air conditioning, or whatever else. I could go on and on. Please take a time, take a couple of seconds to really realize if you do have any of those judgments, and write it down if you have access to pen and paper. This is a very powerful exercise. It's super simple, and you can use it when you're worried about things that you shouldn't be worried about. It's one of the many that we'll talk about today. So does everyone have access to pen paper? If you don't, use your mobile. Just quickly scribble if there are any judgments. Right. If you don't like my accent, that's fine as well. Put it down. Anything else. So if it wasn't important, we wouldn't be spending 30 seconds on it. So I really encourage you to do that. By the way, just a quick show of hands. How many people have some level of judgment about their life or this place here? Cool. Thanks for being honest. Appreciate that. I do too, by the way. I'm working on it. As I'm asking you to work on it, I'm also working. All right. So, does anyone need more time to scribble what they had to scribble? No. All right. So, what you want to do now is, if you have a piece of paper, tear it apart, the one that you've written your judgments on. So that's telling your subconscious mind that you're letting it go. And please feel free to do that during the whole session. If you find anything that tries to catch you on my presentation style, or again, the heat in the room, or someone sitting next to you, not wearing the fragrance that you would like, all that sort of stuff, write it down and tear it through. If you're on a device, what you want to do is, delete that. If it's a message that you've typed, delete that. A note, if you've written it in the notepad, delete that. And it's subconsciously telling you that it's done for now. And you keep doing that, your subconscious will learn to clear that out. It takes practice. All right. Thanks for those who participated in here through the device, through paper. Appreciate that. And we've done that. So now, obviously, you guys have come here to find out how to get to your niche and how to be successful at it, right? Like Einstein says, if you have a problem to solve, a thing to achieve, you want to spend more than 95% of your time actually planning and thinking, right? And then solving the problem will only take the last few minutes. So that is exactly what we're going to do with this session. With your permission, I'm going to take you on a journey which could be very different to what you have seen, right? It may not work with your logical mind, right? But again, that's where judgment comes in. I am giving an example that what I'm sharing today is exactly what has helped me become more fulfilled, more successful, more happy. And I can guarantee you that if you do believe me, without judgment, absorb this, you actually don't need anything else to be successful. You really don't. It is that powerful. It is so simple as well. So I'm not going to ask you to have to climb Mount Everest to find out how to do this. It's no hard work. It's just discipline, and there's some key principles. So is anyone not okay with us going on a journey that might be a bit rocky and different to what you've usually heard? Please raise your hand if you're not happy. You are. Check, is that stuck? No. Okay. All right. So everyone's committed to go on the journey there. It's good. So it's thinking and planning time. So I'll lay it out what we're going to cover today. Right? There's a 4-step process. You can go deeper in each of these steps and can be expanded. So we're going to go through 4 trusted steps to success. Right? The first step is challenge what's accepted. And this is where your intellect mind will come in the way. It absolutely will. And that's where you jot it down as a judgment, tear that away so you can focus again on what's being discussed. More than happy for you to challenge me, ask questions. If it's at a logical level, I'll remind you that you're challenging me at a logical level, and what we're talking here is much beyond. And I'll explain what it is. It's, yeah, I can't say any more on that at this point. The second point is cleanse your energy. Right? So this is about if you are walking into a problem with an intention to solve, you want to be in the best state possible, in the best energy possible, right? And energy doesn't mean a couple of Red Bulls. I'm not talking about that. It's about you being in the state of mind where you can understand the problem. You can, without emotions and all the other funny things that happens, like beating yourself for past things and everything that comes in the way of you solving the problem, right? So that's that one. The third one is then you should be able to ask. You should know how to ask for what you want to yourself and beyond, right? A lot of people, I'm never going to get this. If you really want a car or $1 million or whatever, and you keep telling yourself, I'm never going to get this, you're actually not asking, but you might feel that you've been asking for 10 years and it hasn't happened. That's why it hasn't happened, because you haven't been asking. And then some people do the good job of asking correctly, but they don't believe in what they're asking. So they're not open to receive. So things, opportunities, all these things come, but you're not open to receive them, which means it will not happen, right? So I can't stress enough. This is, trust me, I have been to a lot of big gurus. They're amazing, and I respect them. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from interaction with people. This is, to me, after spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in opportunity cost, training, travel, my time, and being away from family and all that sort of stuff, this is the fastest way to success. It truly is. And you're not going to pay me a single dollar to find out what that is, right? If you wanted us to talk more beyond this, sure, we can talk about that. But so please, I have no intention other than sharing it openly with you. Please use this opportunity and absorb as much as you can and interact with it. The last one is gratitude. So the fact that I'm in Melbourne, I don't take it for granted, right? It's a place that's so close to nature. The food is still edible here. The air quality is amazing. The water is drinkable, right? The fact that I can drink water from the tap, I've been here since '99, close to 20 years, but I still thank, being here to God and universe for me being here and to be able to enjoy all that. And a lot of you are probably have always lived in Australia. How fortunate are we to be able to do that? How many of us do thank God and universe or ourselves for making the choices or decisions that we can enjoy all this? Not many. And I can tell you, gratitude, which is thanking yourself, others, universe, makes cellular level changes. It changes how your cells function. They are more energized. They create better energy. They'll live longer. You age less. It's like it keeps going on and on. So there's so much I know about gratitude that I didn't like a few years ago. And once I found out, there was no going back. So that is what ties everything together. Now, as I said, there's a lot of multiple steps within each step. But at the high level, if you're doing all those four, you are guaranteed to succeed the best you can in this present life. You're guaranteed. There's no doubt about it. The only doubt is if you don't follow some of these steps. Right? And God, universe is quite forgiving. Right? So if you skip a step or two once in a while, they'll still grant you in good faith that look after you. So I'm going to get straight into it, which is I want to help you to be able to challenge what's accepted. Right? So I'll give you some, because we all are to start with in a logical mindset, right? I want to give you some logics and some experiments and some science things that have been done, which proves some of the stuff that I'm about to share and I have shared. There is a Japanese doctor called, I think Masaru Emoto, no offense, he is no more, but he did an amazing job. What he did is he invented he discovered the change in water cells from just the use of certain words. If you play, a rock music versus a classical, serene sort of music, you see differences in how the cells then show up under the microscope. So what you used to do is do all that, freeze the cell, and then put it under the microscope. So I don't know if people at the back can see it, but you'll see the difference between when you speak to water, right? And this is science here. This is all microscope. But if you haven't seen this before, it will be super wild for you. But when you speak words to the water, they are words like eternal or love. You see the shape they come up with, right? And water is just water. It's not human. It cannot be manipulated. If words can have that impact, where evil looks so evil, versus spirit or eternal or thank you. And this is all online, by the way. If you look up that guy, you'll see heaps of videos and stuff, and they talk about how you can actually energize the water and improve that. So, who has known about this before? You have. Awesome. Cool. So, well, there you go. So, I'm not the only one crazy here. Right? You had a question, or?
It's part of a movie called What a Beautiful Life, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, is it? Okay, I haven't watched that movie. Well, there you go. I learned something. I'll look it up. So, why do I share this? One, to challenge your logical brain if you haven't seen this before, but to also help you realize that our body is made of, 75%, 80% water. So what we do to ourselves every single day by saying, I'm not good enough, I'm not going to get that car ever, I can't make that $1 million, is one. And what we do to others, to our partner, does she always have to do X? Does he always have to do Y? And scolding kids, and I could go, or even to the staff members, your team, the people that you're working with, your managers, their boss, whoever, right? We, and me included, I have been in this. We have been somehow trained to be judgmental and have opinions about people who we can't control. They're different people. They have got different life situations. What right do I have to judge any one of you and say, you screwed up? Well, I don't even know what got you to that point, right? So if we are for ourselves by beating ourselves all the time, and to others, creating this negativity, which is our blood, our lymphatic system, what else? I don't even know. Our organs probably have a lot of water. 80% has to go somewhere. So we are actually compromising our health and other people's health just by using the words we are. Right? Now, it's probably too woo-woo for some of you, but I would say that word and intentions, they both have the same impact. If you weren't saying a word, but inside your heart you were cursing someone or yourself, and we curse ourselves more than we curse others, generally speaking, you will have that impact. You'll age faster, you won't be successful in what you want because you're actually negating everything you're asking for. So if that one message gets registered with you, you've more than justified taking the pain of coming here and being part of this. So I'll give 10 seconds to just have this settle in your brain and just see what you do. And do you curse yourself? Do you curse others? And for brave people who want to contribute to other people's life, would love to hear some sharing on after those 10-15 seconds so that you can impact someone else. Feel free to close your eyes if that feels better for you. All right, let's open our eyes for those who did close their eyes. Are there any brave people who want to share their experience. It can't be someone else's experience. I'll share mine. So before I started working on my public speaking / confidence level, I used to tremor when thinking of wanting to speak in public. I literally used to. I would absolutely prove to myself that the best way to go about it is to find an excuse to not actually do it. Right? And I did that so well. I'm a very convincing person, and we all are to ourselves, because we know what our soft corners are and what to press to get the outcome we want. We're so good at understanding ourselves, but we use it poorly, right? We use that skill for the wrong reasons. And I did that, and I did that up until I realized that, and it took me some work, some coaching, some reminding and discipline to get to reminding myself every single time when I do something not good for myself. And then it changed, and I'm here now. I'm not the best presenter. English isn't my first language. I could improve in so many things when presenting, but at least I'm comfortable in my skin, and that's the most important thing. It's not my goal anymore to speak better than what I do, because whatever I'm doing right now, I'm comfortable. And that's the state I hope you all can be in, whether you are doing public speaking or with your family or with your parents even. And I know it's a hot topic, but they know your trigger points, right? And they can trigger you like, or your siblings or whatever else. So whatever we're going to share today is not only about you finding your own niche, but also be able to expand that to everything in your life. It truly is. So what we are also going to do is, I know we don't know each other, but we've got people sitting next to each other. I would say maybe spend 30 seconds, right, changing the state of cells and energy of that other person by giving them a genuine gratitude or feedback of something positive, something nice, right? It could be the fact that they're here, right? You are, just applaud them for being here and genuinely do that, so they feel, and then we'll see what happens with that exercise. And if you're struggling to genuinely find something that you can thank the other person for or make them feel good about, then do it to the people who you should have done and you haven't been for a long time, right? It doesn't have to be over the phone. As I said, words and intent, they both do the same effect. They really do. You just have to, the only part of the exercise that is not optional is you have to genuinely mean it. If you do that exercise, there is a shift that will happen, trust me. So on that trust, please surrender and attempt to do that exercise. Over to you guys. Huh? Okay.
That accepted part, is that like a good play on words? Accepted at the end? Challenge was expected.
Oh yes, sorry.
Yeah,
It is.
I was like-
It is. No, it is. Thank you. Thanks for pointing. Alright, everyone please. Everyone, can I have everyone's attention please? So this exercise wasn't to applaud someone so much that you get into a relationship with them. What we want to do now is, I'm sure that you have a loved one that you are thankful to have in your life, right? Or a friend or whoever. In your mind, please give them a quick 10-second genuine gratitude, or a genuine, send something to the ether saying, thanks for being part of my life and how amazing they are. Please do. Okay, you can come back to the room. Is anyone feeling any different? Does anyone want to share their experience?
I feel at ease when I did this exercise.
Awesome.
Otherwise, whenever I'm talking, I feel a bit obsessed or something. It's like I'm trying to do something, but I'm not at ease. Yeah, but the point that you're going towards, I can feel that we should be at ease and peace with us when we are doing that.
It's one of the simplest things you can do to change your energy. When you're feeling stressed or uneasy about anything, if you can find something, someone from current or past that you can, be thankful for, it will completely change your energy. Sorry, we'll have time for one more person. Yeah.
So, keep smiling. So, I was keep smiling myself whole day, any part of the day, evening or morning. I was in a project in Cape Town. Somebody asked me, how can you be smiling every time? And I was saying that I'm just doing a bit to put some smile on your face.
That's nice.
So I'm just doing my bit in this world of
That's awesome.
Anger, whatever.
That's amazing. I applaud you for that, for sure. Now, I must say that I actually had to teach myself to smile. I do smile a lot. Sometimes it weirds people out. It's like, what is this guy happy about? And sometimes I don't have a reason to be happy. I'm just happy. And to your point, when I started to get into the discipline of smiling, it was weird, right? Because other people don't expect. What's sad is that people are weirded out by seeing people smile and not the other way around. You walk into a corporate office and everyone is like, I don't want to say what I had to say. And if you see one person who's just smiling all the time, it's like, is he weird? Well, so do the maths. Who is weird?
He's trying to adopt the culture.
There you go.
People think like that.
So, by the way, thank you, sir, for picking up a mistake in our presentation. It's not accepted.
Yeah.
Accepted. ACCEPT.
So totally is a smart play on words.
Awesome. Okay. All right. We'll use that excuse then. So, other things that I wanted to help you, because this is the most important part. If I can somehow drop your logical mind, that will challenge you on, it's not possible that just those 4 steps can change my life. This guy doesn't know what's happening in my life. I've tried it all before, all those sort of stuff. So the only way I can drop that is by throwing some challenges that will allow you to, I guess, drop the logical brain and think beyond. So you guys know how, I never, by the way, up until I saw the movie on the bee, I can't even remember what that movie is. I had no idea what bees actually do. How important are they? So I was so naive, right? But it's amazing that a creator, whoever has created this, like it's not humans, right? Whoever has created this has thought of such a miraculous thing that will make a difference between life and no life on this planet, right? How is that possible? If it wasn't done by human, it was done by someone, right? Or something, I should say. Right? So I'm not a religious person. I don't believe in an idol. I don't practice a religion, but I'm a very spiritual person. I believe in energy. I believe in universe and the creation that there is. And I think we all should, unless we can, at worst, if we can't better it, if we can't even duplicate it. We can't create an a being like bee that can do what it does the way it does. We just can't. So we have to drop our ego and allow the bigger power to assist us in where we want to get to. And if this is too woo-woo for anyone, this is your time to write that judgment, because it's a logical judgment, tear it apart, and allow for the rest of the information to seep in. The other thing that I was thinking is, I started doing something, I did something weird for like 4 or 5 weeks. Right? This is I got pulled into a oneness, a concept of oneness, where there is a oneness university in close to Chennai in India, and I went there and I attended some sessions here. And it talks about oneness beyond, like not just humans. Humans is a given, but oneness beyond, like plants and everything else. So I do some breathing exercises every morning. I was doing that in front of a tree, like a small tree, right? And I'm just noticing the change, because I'm standing at the same spot every day. I'm noticing how some of the leaves are aging and all that sort of stuff. This is all silly stuff when you do until you start doing it. But it's amazing for mindfulness, because we forget asking our kids and family how they've been and how their day has been, and to be able to observe a tree, you need that mindfulness and expansiveness. So I was doing that, and I noticed, hang on. All this time, I have been believing that humans are, much more advanced than plants, but they are not. And I actually called Jag that night or the other day. I said, "Do you realize that plants are much more advanced than humans?" He said, "How?" I was like, "Look, for us to breathe, we need a set of lungs. I believe heart does something as well in the process of breathing, and we need nostrils and everything else. Plants." Like the leaf in a plant breathes through the pores. They have none of those organs. Not only they breathe, they actually change what they breathe. So during the day, and during the night, it's completely opposite. How complex that thing is, but it's so simple. And it's so effortless. And we just go around thinking we are something, we're more advanced than animals and other human beings and plants. It's like that slap in the face right there. Are we doing so much? And how much money do we spend in trying to look after our health and all the organs that we have, etc.? Now that one concept, and a lot of this stuff is my own, right? So please take what works for you and what it doesn't. But I truly believe in everything that I'm sharing here. So this one concept will be hopefully enough to solve any of our ego problems, and it helped my ego as well. So it's amazing what Creator has created. It's amazing how ignorant, as a group, including myself, we have been to it, and we don't appreciate it. We block. These are all blocks. We're blocking, seeing all the magic. And if you don't see the magic, you won't believe in the magic. And magic is probably not the best word. Synchronicities, right? If you believe in them, they'll happen. They have happened to me. I'm a live example. They've happened to Jag. They've happened to a lot of people. Maybe you don't realize. I can assure you, if you went back in your life and looked at some of the good things that have happened, there has to be a level of coincidences or synchronicities that were there for you to have gone through that amazing experience. And the other thing that amazes me is how sun and moon are just at the right distance they need to be from Earth, right? If they are like 10%, 5% closer or 5% further away, we won't have life on Earth, right? No human or combination of humans have the capacity to put all those things in the right spot so that life can exist, right? So it's all happened. And we're talking about these small, like some laptop being created. Now we have device where you can touch screen. That's amazing. But we're all talking logical level. There's something massive happening out there that we actually have access to. But we've never taken the time to realize what's going on and how to partake in it and how to benefit from it. And, and mutual benefit, I should say. Like we give back as well. And then this is only one Earth, one universe we're talking about. It's known by science. Now there's multiverses. So if you put all that together, how complex is the setup? And then we look at our problems where someone said something not nice to us and we're worried about that. We're upset. We'll stay, the whole night up thinking, oh my God, why did he say that to me? That means he doesn't trust me. That means, something rather other, or he's not good or she's not good or whatever. Our problems are tiny. Imagine what whoever is managing or whatever energy is managing the multiverses, what sort of problems they have. And I'm saying I know for sure that we are one. We absolutely are one. Do you know all the people that you guys came here? Today is full moon. I don't have to give you, there is a science evidence that there is a different energy on full moon day. And Jag and I didn't know about it. Jag didn't book the time thinking it's a full moon day, but it is. It's an amazing opportunity for learning. If you look at tides, every full moon, the tides are higher because of the gravitational pull that moon has. So it's all scientific, right? So everything, every single thing that's happened has happened for a reason. I guarantee you, if you look at the way you got to this decision of coming here, there has to be a level of coincidence. The way you saw the link, when you saw, the link or the invite, and when you clicked on it and you and ahed about it, and then you ended up being here. And it's not just, you haven't come just for yourself as well. You have come for everyone else as well, right? And it's too complex to understand how, that is true, but trust me with that, it is true. This group was meant to be, right? And it is what it is. It absolutely is. So, anyways, all I want to say is, if all that doesn't help you drop your intellectual brain for some time, for at least the next 60 minutes or so, I don't know what will. And just do it anyways, because it's going to help you. Trust me. Just trust me. Right? So we are absolutely underutilizing the infinite intelligence, if I may, or infinite source of energy, if I may. We absolutely are underutilizing, and we don't have to do anything different. Just the intention and words and a couple of other things to put some discipline. So is everyone still sort of with me, or have I lost someone completely? And what is this crazy guy talking about? Okay. Good. The other one, which will hopefully make it more real and connect to the next thing that I want to talk about, is how many of you know of people around you who are successful, but you just can't see why? Right? Few of us, right? So you see them at work. You might have a neighbor who drives a Porsche or something like that, and you look at them. They're so simple, and how do they? Some people like me can't speak English properly, right? But they're in a country where the only language that gets spoken is English. How have they made all this money, and how are they successful? Right? Because the only way of being successful is to have your energy right. Only way. You attract what your energy allows you to attract. And that's it. There's no complication to it. God universe has made everything super simple. We just make it complicated. If your energy is right, you'll attract the right opportunity, you'll meet the right people, you'll find the right job, you'll click on the right link and come to the right session. So let's talk about energy, right? Because energy is so important. Sorry, was there a question? Okay. Okay. Oh yes, you know all about it. Cool, awesome. So does everyone agree? Like, let's raise the hands to see does everyone get why energy is so important? Can you please raise your hand, because I really want to see how many of you don't. Is there anyone who doesn't? Energy isn't important? Okay.
One of us is powering a lot. Extends the energy we need.
Okay. Okay.
And like kilojoules.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your honesty and sharing that with you. I will warn you that the rest of the presentation is all about how you can improve your energy and use the energy that's out there to get you to where you want to. So, just a moment.
It'll be good for me if it's a cooking demonstration.
Sorry?
It'll be good for me if it's a cooking demonstration.
Cooking? Yeah. Well, YouTube is your friend, I guess. So you're still welcome. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy to. Okay, awesome. So basically, again, this is known. We all have our physical body. We also have our subtle body, for the lack of a better word. There are 7 main energy centers. You look up online, you'll see thousands of sites and Google results talking about it. This is not something I've invented. It's been around for thousands of years. It's been around for thousands of years, and I have experienced how unblocking energies from each of those chakras or energy centers impacts my life. Right? So when I started this journey, I was very logical, and emotions had no place in my life. Right? And someone told me my heart energy center and my sacral energy center is completely blocked. So all my decisions were logical, conceptual, and I found that my investments, etc., were only that bit successful because I would go in thinking just the logic and not the gut feel and some of the other things that we've been blessed with, and in a clean energy state they work really well for us. But in absence of clean energy state, they don't, right? Because there's confusion. So we've got 7 chakras. So the top one, the most important one, my favorite, crown chakra, which is all about spirituality. That is the chakra where you actually receive, right? That's the energy center where you receive the energy, right? I don't know if you know, but you probably do. For those who are parents, they probably do that. When a child is born, the top part here, where the crown chakra is actually soft. Because that's the time they're downloading like crazy, right? They've been thrown into this new world that, all that, and they need to live in all that. And it magically hardens over the course of months, and moms will probably know more than I do how long does it take. So why does that actually happen? So there's a lot of evidences that talk to or validate some of the chakra theory that we're talking about here. So anyways, so that's the crown chakra. So that's to receive. Then there is third eye, which is awareness, intuition, right? So you know how sometimes when you have gut feel that someone is going to call you and someone actually does? That's intuition. You're aware. You don't just need your eyes to be aware. This is called the third eye. And you might find it funny because you obviously don't see an eye. But what this point links to behind the scenes is what's called a pineal gland. A lot of people say it looks identical to a structure of an eye. I haven't done that research, but because I knew these chakras exist, I just trusted it. And I've experienced it. Throat chakra, this is where if you're struggling to be expressive, if you feel victimized and you're always not sharing how you feel, just because you feel it will be awkward, or what will other person think about me, or I'll lose them. Or even in a group like this, if you're feeling you don't want to share something, and I have to be, blunt and open to be able to help you guys. So please allow me to do that. So I'm not judging you. I was in the same state. Your throat chakra is blocked, because when it's free flowing, doesn't mean you'll be singing. It does mean that when you have something you need to express, you will be able to express. Then there is heart chakra. It's all about, heart. I think everyone knows what that does. Then there is solar plexus, which is, how in the gym and in yoga and everywhere they say your core is really important. Because if you energize your core, then a lot of emotion, stability and everything that comes with it, allows you to focus on the problems with the right energy and move forward with it. So you can, but if you guys do yoga, you're probably opening up or balancing a lot of these chakras already. If you don't, please do it. That's the cheapest way to stay healthy and in the right energy. Right? Sacral chakra is for your sexuality, creativity. Right? So if you're having, I shouldn't be saying that, but if you're having any issues there, that's because the chakra is blocked. It isn't for any other reason. And I'm generally speaking, I'm not a medical practitioner by any means. And the last one, which probably is most important for some of us, is the money chakra, root chakra. And if that's closed, doesn't matter how hard you work, doesn't matter what opportunity comes to you, doesn't matter if a billionaire picks you from crowd and says, you're going to be my partner now, 5% or whatever, you will not make money. You cannot make money, and that's my belief. And I truly believe in that. So all your chakras need to be in balance. They're so important that I just share that I went to see John of God. I don't know if you know him, but he's all over Oprah's videos and all that sort of stuff. I've seen him do physical operations with no blood, takes tumors out, with almost no blood, no pain. Patient is awake and no anesthesia and takes the tumor out and that sort of stuff. So I especially went to Brazil. It is in a village in Brazil. Brazil, no offense, is like India, from where I'm from, can be quite unsafe. Especially the villages are really hard to get to. But I had such a strong calling that I had to go. I went there, spent 2 weeks there. It was one of the most amazing experiences I've had. And the kind of people I was able to meet and the clearing that I was able to do in 2 weeks and the after effects of that is just phenomenal. So we are later in the year wanting to put together a bit of a group of people that we go together with, Spirit of Oneness. If you have any interest, please let one of us know and we'll be happy to do that. So what I did do is, this guy, John of God, he does hands-on healing, right? And he does spiritual and physical healing. Look him up, and I'm sure you'll love his work if you're into spirituality or if you now are into more belief around spirituality. I actually bought not so inexpensive bed called Crystal Bed, which has 7 crystals to heal your 7 chakras. And there's actually a science behind it, so it's not voodoo stuff. Obviously, he does energy blessing on the crystals, so that has an impact. Now that we know that the word and intention can change the cells of water, which means the energy, that is the energy, right? Why can't someone with a really good energy be able to influence your energy with touch or with intention, right? So I've experienced this myself. This is truly real and amazing stuff, so I highly recommend. This is one of the probably 10 trips. I've been around the world I was so hungry to change myself and so hungry for success. I've spent all the money that you probably don't have to, because you can just go to the ones that I know will work for you, and time away from family and everything else, and every experience taught me something. But there are a couple of experiences, like Bali was quite special, and I just happened to meet some of the beautiful people and have healings and experiences with them. So that was amazing. So anyways, so with Crystal Bed, there is I've got one for myself and my family, and there is the science is that the color therapy, which is every chakra has a color associated to it, and when you expose a certain color to a certain chakra, then it actually balances itself out. Right? That's why part of the reason that's why sun and moon and some of the planets are different colors. I don't understand that concept completely, so I won't talk much about it. But there is, and that's why the flowers and all that sort of stuff as well, and just the crystal itself has a healing effect. So I don't know if you guys, is anyone into crystals? Do you guys get it? So there are. I know for fact that I've had people in family who've tried really strong crystals without the advice, on a ring or something, and then things happen, right? Again, this might sound voodoo, but it is every stone, everything here on this planet has a certain energy. If that energy doesn't match the energy of your own, then things won't work out. And if it does, it will help you progress. So, as I said, I'll keep the whole talk today is about challenging what you already know. And if you guys already know, then that's great. But this is stuff that works, and I strongly recommend you to consider that. It really puts you in a state of clarity. So these are some hacks. Like if you don't like to do yoga 5 days a week, and you want to just once a week or once every 2 weeks go through a crystal bed experience in 40 minutes, come out all feeling different and better, then this is an option. All right, so this was just yoga and healing and all that gets your energy right. And when you have the right energy, then you can go to the next step of asking, right? And then be able to receive. So how do we ask? So I'm going to give something super powerful to you. It takes some belief for it to work on you, right? It's a simple thing that we do. So I showed you what the chakras are, some of the chakras, and for you to be able to receive, you want to have at least the first few chakras sorted and good. So for people who are game and who are open to try and without judgment, they're happy to participate. For those who are not ready yet, your time will come when it comes. You may find a different path. So please don't feel bad if you aren't participating. But if you can, I can assure you that if you do it with belief, you'll see immediate change in your energy. So I should have put it here, but basically how it works is you start with the third eye chakra. You do a circular movement here, okay? And you say, with the power of love within me, I cleanse my body. Okay, so you're getting rid of any negativity, and I cleanse my soul. And that's it. There is no mantra. You're not being religious here, etc. If you feel comfortable, please try that. I would love to hear experiences of anyone and how that feels, if it makes any difference. For some people, the first couple of times they try, they get shivers. You feel cool, around your head, etc. So anyone who's willing to try that? Okay, please do. All right, so everyone who wants to try, please do that. So with the power of love within me, I cleanse my body, I cleanse my soul. Okay, now the intention matters. If you forget the words while you're doing the first few times, it doesn't matter. So now do it like the words don't matter, and do it with, be in it. So feel free to close your eyes, and if you get the things wrong, no worries, but just experiencing, the impact of that. So, was anyone able to? I know a lot of people tried it. Thank you so much for being sport and having the trust on me. Was anyone able to do without, judgment and knowing that you're in the middle of 40, 50 people, and this is odd, I haven't done this before. So taking all that aside, was anyone able to do that? You were? Okay. How was your experience?
I can't explain. Okay, I just did it.
So you felt no change. Okay, fair. Anyone else who did feel a change? I would say take it home. If you feel like it, try it when no one is around, right? Or especially try it when you're not feeling good. You can do it in the bathroom, toilet, when no one is watching. But do it for your own self, not for anyone else. And if you feel any different, let me know. Okay. All I can tell you is this is when I first started to believe, by learning this exercise, this is when I first started to believe in spirituality, like really believe, because I saw the difference. It's like, how can these words and what I'm doing make that difference? I had shivers when I was doing that first few times. So everything I'm sharing here, I haven't put anything here that's sort of okay, and I'll just add it into the slide just to make the slide busy. Everything I'm sharing, I believe each of those things can have a massive impact. Again, you have to be in it to be able to do it, like no judgment, and be open to do it. All right, so first thing was cleanse. So for people so this is cleansing. This is a simple way of cleansing. It's not as powerful as doing a yoga session or going through a crystal bed healing. Then there's posture. If you ever ask for something, because the chakras are all here, you can't be sitting like that, standing like that. Your spine has to be erect. All the chakras are around your spine. So that's the second thing. The third thing is the words. So a lot of times and again, this is something, after reading so many books, trainings, everything, There is a very simple way and the only successful way that I know of asking. And that is, you actually ask in present tense. You say, I have $1 million per annum income clear, without effort. I have incredible relationship with people around me, without effort. Right? And you do the same for your health, etc. If you're saying, I want to be able to get a Porsche, or I want to be able to buy a house, I want to be able to have a partner, that's want to be able to. Spirit and universe and energy, whoever you believe in, they only understand present tense. If you believe that you have it today, and this is not crazy, you read Eckhart Tolle or any of the spiritual beings, like heaps of people who've written books and online as well. That's the only way to ask. So if the only thing you take away from this session is to change your goals and rewrite it to present tense, and actually genuinely cleanse your energy and posture and genuinely ask for it, that will make a significant difference to your life. It really will.
Not just agreeing, but when you say ask, it's a question. When you say I have, it's a statement. So my mind
Yeah.
is, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
You say I have,
Yeah.
$1 million,
Yeah.
I have $1 million,
Yeah.
That's not a question, that's a statement. So that's
And that's where the command on English comes really handy. So thanks for that. I said that's where your command on English comes really handy versus mine.
The English, of just the concept of the way
Yeah,
you're thinking about it.
No, that's.
To me.
I totally agree. After what you've said, it's not ask. If you give me a better word, I'll replace it for the next session. But I truly meant, that you have to, the goals have to be in present tense, and that you already possess them. What happens behind the scenes is that gets registered, and you do that time and again, seriously with cleansed energy. It materializes and happens, and I've seen that happening to me. As I said, I had no financial backing, and I'm doing all right now. I've reversed my age. My bio age is younger than what my real age is, and I've done all this just through goal setting and all the other work I've done. So you're absolutely correct. It's not really asking; it's stating that I have that today. Please.
The right word for it, then not the ask a question, but rather projection.
Yeah.
Posture